LeBron James, after the Lakers game last night, said to the media, don't say anything about, I don't want to hear anything from you. I'm just going to say something here. How come nobody's asked me about the Jerry Jones photo that was in the Washington Post a week ago today of him standing on the steps of his high school, Little Rock High School, as 6 black students were trying to integrate the school. He was part of a white mob that was keeping the kids out of school. He was standing there. You could see him as a 15-year-old, and clearly, as the story's pointing out, he wasn't listening to his football coach to say, don't go there, stay out of trouble, don't have anything to do with this. He ignored his coach and said on Thanksgiving Day that he really didn't know. He was just there for curiosity factor. So LeBron brought this up and talking about how nobody's asked him about that photo, and they were very quick to have him comment about somebody within his own sport, and Kyrie Irving and his controversy, if you will, recently. How is the NFL taking this photograph, and what are they doing? Is there anything being done to follow up on this, talk about it? Anything going on in the halls of the NFL?
Well, and Rich, I haven't written anything about it yet because it's been a busy day, and I really want to take the time to think through how I want to articulate the column that I'll be putting together, hopefully at some point this afternoon. But I think the better observation from LeBron would have been not that you asked me about Kyrie and you're not asking me about this, because it's apples and oranges. You ask a guy about a development in his sport, and this isn't a development in his sport, so it's not as obvious that you would ask him about it. I think the question is, why aren't you asking Cowboys players about this? Why aren't players throughout the NFL being asked about this? Why aren't other NFL figures being asked about this? Coaches, general managers, anyone who's in front of a microphone. Why isn't this the biggest story in the NFL? Why did it die so quickly? And look, one of the things that's helped the NFL and Jerry Jones here, he took all the questions from the reporters who were at the Cowboys-Giants Thanksgiving game when the reporters otherwise may have been in the locker room asking Dak Prescott, Ezekiel Elliott, anyone else on the team about Jerry's presence in that photo. So Jones, even though I don't know what I think about his answers, and I think some of the things he said both to the Washington Post and to the reporters last week underscore the real problem here when it comes to diversity and hiring, because Jerry seems to think it's okay to just hire who you know, not hire based on merit, but my network of people that I know and trust and have worked with and am comfortable with. That's the fundamental problem that the league has been trying to address, because these white middle-aged to elderly owners are more comfortable statistically with people who have similar upbringings, people they've known, people from their circles, and that's just the way it's gone. But, Rich, as to the photo, I've heard different opinions. Stephen A. Smith from ESPN had very strong opinion that we should leave him alone. Look, I know it was 65 years ago, but I've learned enough about the civil rights movement to know that if you're present in that crowd, you're not an observer. You're part of the problem. If you're part of the solution, you are with the kids helping them get into school. There's no middle ground there. There's no room for observer or curiosity. If he found a way to jostle to almost the front of that line out of curiosity, I mean, it was a very, no pun intended, black and white issue in the 60s and in the 50s. There was no nuance. There was no middle ground. So, and I know it's been 65 years, but when you couple it with the mindset that he has now, Rich, that I hire based on who I know. It's not what you know, it's who you know, and he said that to the Post, and I think he said it again last week. It just underscores that no matter how hard the NFL tries to get these owners to take a step back from what they want to do, they're never going to change their mind about that thing that they are bound and determined to do when it comes to making hiring decisions, especially for these really important jobs.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.